Hi guys, I know it's been a while. Yeah, I've been busy working and I know things have been quiet on Chef Campers or whatever, but hopefully it's going to change soon. Jed from Campervan Culture reached out to me and there's this thing, I haven't seen any of it, but there's this thing going on social media, 10 things about van life, and Jed did it and he tagged me in it, Indie Projects and Jack Mack, my buddy Jack Mack, Bicycle Touring Apocalypse. So yeah, I'm going to answer them. So question one is, what van do we drive? So we drive a T25 Westphalia Synchro edition, so 4-wheel drive, and it's the Atlantic spec as well, which is, I think it's one of the highest spec ones they made, but basically it was a bit of leftover paint and trim that they had to use, I think. But it's got a pretty good spec. I think there's about 15 of them built, so it's quite a rare van. But it's just our home to us. Question two. Steph, there's Rupert. So you're getting everything in this. Question two was, how long did the van take to build? It left the factory as it was as a camper van, so we haven't had to convert it as a camper van. But when we decided we were going to take on van life full time, I guess there was about 2 years of just getting ourselves ready. We had a bit of a situation on our honeymoon where we blew an engine up in France, and I mean that's a story I'll talk about some other time, but we had a decision then we had to make, which was, are we going to keep this van, and if so we need to start pumping money into it. So it's had a new engine in, new suspension, new gearbox, well reconditioned, pretty much everything underneath, which is why we've had pretty much a trouble-free time. Oldest restaurant or something in Morzine. It's pretty cool with nice views over the valley. Right, question three, where has been the best place to stay in the van? What do you reckon?
Norway.
Yeah, where though in Norway?
Islands. Exploring.
Maybe with Jack? Yeah, maybe like our highlight so far is probably when we were up in the top of Norway and the scenery was just insane, and we spent a lot of time with Jack Mack, and it was just a time of our road journey that's really stuck with us. Right, question four, where was the worst place we've ever stayed? Quite easy really. When we broke down on the border of France and Germany, we got recovered to an industrial estate, and it was when we were having the heat wave and we weren't able to go out in the day. We had to sit in shade, and at night time we'd drive because it was too hot. But this day, because we got recovered, it was scorching hot, and it was scorching hot at night, and we had to sleep in a van in an industrial estate with the roof popped up, and there was loads of kids with mopeds just riding past all night, banging on the side of the van. It was a really dodgy area. Rupert was overheating. We were too hot. We were annoyed that the van, the engine that I'd paid loads of money for, failed. So it's just a horrendous night. But, and this is the lesson we've learned about van life, you don't like something or you're not enjoying something, stop it, change direction. And that's what happened. We got recovered to some German garage, and well,
Alexander and his family were amazing.
They were some of the best people we've met on the road.
Gave us some beer, some water.
And we did this, check this out. The van's broken down, but don't worry, we have alternative transport. We're on a sidecar in Germany. So yeah, that was the best breakdown ever. So it went from being the worst situation, and in 24 hours, one of the highlights. Okay, question five, I think it is. How many people have we had in the van? I think in our van maybe 6, but my most memorable experience with people in a van was the story I just said, which was when we broke down in Germany, because we ended up at a beer festival, which was right next to the garage, and Alexandra and his wife and kids and that, we all came out, and his daughter had a T3 Caravel multivan, and it was at this festival and it started pouring down with rain, so we all jumped in the back of her van, and I think there was it 9 of us, 3 on the front, 3 facing back, 3 facing forward, and Rupert as well. and there was a German photographer press person there, and she ended up getting really drunk with us in the back of the van and wrote an article on us and got it all wrong. Apparently Mark Bunce was married to Steph, not me, and apparently I came out to pick them up, and that wasn't true. So yeah, that was good. Right, back to these van life 10 questions. Don't laugh at my glasses, I found them on a beach, they got washed up, and Steph thinks they look ridiculous on me, so I like wearing them. I'm here in Les Gets, or Leger as you're supposed to pronounce it. And the next question is, have you had any disasters on the road? I guess my perspective on what a disaster is might be different to others. Disaster for me is maybe life-threatening or fear for life or super serious injury. And that hasn't really happened. We haven't had that sort of disaster before. But I guess like an uncomfortable situation was maybe like engines blowing up and stuff. But if it, like, we had Russians the other week and he said to me, "Are you dead?" The answer is no. "Are you well?" And the answer is yes. Well, there's nothing to worry about. So I guess no disasters. But a few things have gone wrong. Right, let's have I'll show you a little bit more of Les Gets, or Leger as you have to say. Hang on. Okay, favourite feature of the camper van. Really tricky because there's loads of cool stuff about it. I've got like swing out carriers that I put barbecues on. I've got like spare wheel carrier, the trasharoo bag, which is insane because it means we don't have to keep our rubbish inside the van. I don't know what other people do, but I guess the best feature, the most geekiest one I like, is the solar panel, because every day I check how much power it's absorbed, and we've never needed electric hookup since we hit the road, and we run a fridge, 12 volt compressor fridge. Oh look, here's the party bus full of skiers. Yeah, the solar panel, best feature. So if you're going to go full time, my advice would be definitely hit up the solar. It's well worth it. Okay, least favourite part about van life. It's a tricky one. There's like, I guess there's stuff that happens that you have to just deal with, but that's cool. It's part of it. Maybe sometimes a sense of the community. I think, like, I mean, the people I hang around with and associate with are like really positive, upbeat people that want to see others do well, but there seems to be like an underlying current of people that just fucking hate people who are either travelling in a van or doing van life. And maybe there are like new people to the scene like van life who are getting really frustrated that they might not be getting the attention that they're craving or whatever, and it just seems to really get people down. So I would say maybe the negative aspects it attracts in people who are looking for stuff that they shouldn't be looking for. My advice on van life is just like make it your own, and if you want to talk about it or post about it, then like make it interesting about what you do or whatever you're about, whether that's like surfing, skateboarding, cooking, or just like, I don't know, seeing old stuff, or just capturing the adventure. Like, it's cool. You know, and like, don't worry if people aren't watching it, or you don't feel that you're as popular as you ought to be. It's cool, because like, whenever I post anything, if there's even just like one or two people that post on a YouTube video, like, it's like, well, at least someone got something from it. So yeah, don't do it for anyone else, do it for yourself. And I think that's the negative side of it. Sometimes people are trying to get too much from it when it should really be about your own van life, and that's about it. Right, sun's coming out now. I think it's time for a beer or something. Let's see. Favourite part of van life? Probably like meeting the cool people I've met. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like Jed, Dan, Lou, Isaac, Campervan Culture crew. That's like awesome to be part of that. Like, be part of the Well Travelled guys with them. Janice, Gregor, Live Travel Play, Tom Div, Jack Mack, Bicycle Touring Apocalypse. All these people that I've connected to, like, to the online stuff that we do. And that for me just means, like, I don't know, we've had some insane nights around campfires, and we've cooked some good food, and we've just met so many people, like Van Life Happiness, One Man, One Van, One Pound, Mr. Bunce. Just freaking loads of people just from putting up videos and pictures of us travelling and cooking. So yeah, the people, I guess. The people behind it, that's my favourite part. Advise people embarking on van life. speak to people who've done it, offer them a meal, a campfire, camp out, and go and speak to them. Give yourself a year, try and get out in your van as much as you can to really push like what you think you might need. Living in it is very different to a week's holiday or a weekend away, so maybe even try living in it on your drive for a bit, cooking your meals in it every night and just seeing, you know, how things are a little bit different and a bit trickier at times. And pack your van and then take 50% of it off. That's another tip I would say. But yeah, lean on people like us and everyone else who's been full-time, and get as much advice and help as you can. Build a good network around you of support. Right, that's it. That's me. That's my tour. That's 10 questions about van life. Sorry if I rambled on. I actually filmed this halfway through a lot of stuff, but everything's good now. I've had a new haircut. Got some glasses that were washed up in a beach in... Was it with these in Spain or Portugal, Steph? Portugal. They washed up. Do I still look silly in them? I think she likes them now. Okay, that's it guys. That was 10 things about van life, 10 questions. Thanks Jed for the nomination. I'll just like bang this to wind you up a little bit. Looking forward to catching indie projects do this. Jack Mack, I know you're super busy like me do, but looking forward to seeing your response. I'd like to nominate Andy and Jack from H-Man Adventures. Now I know you guys don't do videos, but if you want to maybe just do a post with some pictures, that'd be pretty cool. Van Life Happiness as well, because they are just having an absolute blast right now, and it's been so amazing to see them go from the same situation as us to full time. And yeah, I'll nominate those two. So before I go, I guess I'll just say I'm really aware of the fact that I haven't done much with Chef Campers over winter. It was really playing on my mind a little bit, and I'm conscious that a lot of you guys have supported us, like from when we were in houses and when we were in the hotel, and just you've turned up to our banquets, our shows, you've like showed support, and I don't think I've been keeping up my end of the bargain, which was keeping you guys updated as to what's happening. So I'm going to try my best to keep some content coming now. I think I've got a way to be able to do that. I mean, right now I'm parked up at a ski resort, and we're going to do some après ski, some partying in a bit. And then, yeah, I guess I want to share with you guys what it's like to live and work in a van on the road. And, you know, how do you make this sustainable? How is van life sustainable? And, you know, how can you live in it and hold a job down? And how does that look? Especially in these winter climates when it's, you know, -5, -10 in the snow. If you like the idea of that, then please check us out on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you know when our videos are coming. Check out our Facebook page, and there might be a Facebook group coming soon, so when we start hosting some informal gatherings that might have some food getting chipped around, we can plan them a bit more privately. So yeah, check it out, and thanks as always for the support. Hang on, actually 2 seconds. So my mate Ross, I promised you I would give you a decent shout out on the next video, because Ross, you wouldn't take a refund when your wife couldn't make it to our banquet in the summer. You told me to keep the money, and I was it's very generous of you. And you also supply me with slow gin every year, which I'm really happy about. So cheers Ross, this one's for you, man. It's a good batch this year. Right, take care guys, speak to you soon.